Welcome to the VIN History series. In this lesson, we will talk about understanding vehicle recalls in a VIN History Report. In other words, hidden recall problems you should never ignore. Let's get started. A recall happens when the manufacturer discovers a safety problem or a major defect after the car has been sold to the public. Before you buy any used vehicle, you should always check for any recalls in a VIN history report, because some recalls can really reflect major safety issues that you need to know about. Some recalls involve airbags or brakes, steering systems, fuel systems, electrical fires, and engine problems. An open recall means the problem has not been repaired yet. And in some cases, the issue could affect the safety of the vehicle. The good news is, most recalls are repaired for free by the manufacturer. Many recalls stay open because the owner ignored the notice that they received, or they didn't receive the notice, or there were different or too many owners, not too many owners, but multiple vehicle owners through the life of the vehicle. And what happens is the manufacturer has to catch up to those people that now own the vehicle and send them a notice. And if they get the notice in the mail and they check it and read it and do something about it, great. But a lot of times they'll own the car for 6 months or a year, and then they'll buy something else and that car is gone. They'll get the notice and they'll just throw it in the trash. So that's a big problem, because they can only follow the DMV and the current address of the new owner, and then it takes them time to get that all situated. So that's why sometimes you won't get a notice, or you'll get it very late. That's why you can do your own homework, look up your VIN history report, see what the open recalls are, and then you can contact the manufacturer and set up a time to get it repaired for free. And you got to understand something. Buying a vehicle with an open recall doesn't mean the vehicle's bad, but you need to take charge of that recall to make sure that vehicle is safe for you. And like I said, you can find out through the VIN history report. It'll tell you the recalls. And then you can actually go to the manufacturer's website, put the VIN number in, and schedule an appointment to get it repaired. And not to alarm you, but some recalls can be a major safety issue. There was a recall recently, well, I shouldn't say recently, about 8 or 9 years ago with the Takata airbags, where the airbags were deploying with shrapnel in them. I don't know if that's the correct word, but they had stuff exploding out of the airbag that could kill people. So you really should check on those recalls. And there's another instance where the recall was causing a fire, and I actually read one very recently where the recall could actually make the engine lock up while you're on the highway. So you could be driving down the highway and the engine just stops dead in its track. It locks up and you go into a skid or who knows what, but all of a sudden you're going 80 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour, and the car stops. The engine stops dead. That's serious. So these recalls, the recalls are very important to make sure that you have them done in the vehicle that you're buying. And once again, recall doesn't mean that the car is bad. It just means that they need to be taken care of. And you can be the responsible owner to do that. And that's why checking the recall in a VIN history report is probably one of the smartest things you could do, because you can take control and take charge of the vehicle that you're buying and make sure that it is safe for you and your family. Before you buy your next vehicle, it is so important, I hope you're starting to understand this, to run that VIN history report first before you hand over your hard-earned money. You can get the VIN History Report from Carfax.com, or you can get one from CarValueScout.com. Check prices on the VIN histories. I know that the Car Value Scout one, that's my sponsor, so I'm a little biased, but they virtually have the same information that's in the Carfax, and it's quite a bit cheaper. So if you want to save a few bucks, You could go to Car Value Scout. If you want to pay for the Carfax name and get theirs, that's great too, because it's an excellent report. I can't knock them. They do a very good job, but we're all basically pulling from the same database. So once again, the VIN History Report it's gold when you're buying a car, because it's going to show you so much. And by the way, as you're going through this particular VIN History Report series, you are learning more than most people know about VIN History Reports. And you could even help a friend buy a car at this point. Well, I think we have one more lesson coming, and that lesson is on maintenance. And we will cover that one next. It'll be a nice, short, quickie lesson, and I think you'll learn a lot more. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.